Ask almost any kid their favorite food, and you're going to hear chicken nuggets, hot dogs, French fries. Oh, and they need ketchup. Always. It's basically a food group. At this point, ketchup is all American. From the youngest ages, we get hooked on the red stuff and never quite lose a taste for it. You probably know someone like this.
Ketchup, 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 ketchup. Ketchup is ketchup. It goes with everything. It's given me pleasure. It takes a fair chunk of my life. Perfect.
Ralph is the king of ketchup. I can't imagine Ralph's world without ketchup.
God bless Ralph, right? We all know a Ralph, and the market suggests there are lots of him in these 50 United States. Few fast facts. Ketchup is found in 97% of homes in the U.S. 97. And the latest numbers on the Financial Post found Americans spend around $856 million per year on ketchup. Absolutely staggering. And most of that money is flowing to just two companies. Heinz has saturated 60% of the ketchup market in the U.S. Hunt's has around 20%. That really doesn't leave much room for the little guys. Well, we met some insurgents, young innovators, doing something radical with ketchup that actually takes it all the way back to its roots. Here's the thing. Ketchup is not all American, and it was never meant to be all tomato either. The website Quartz has the origin. Quote, the story begins in 16th century Fujian, a province of the South China Sea that conducted trade with Vietnamese fishermen who are believed to have introduced fermented fish sauce to the region. Our modern word comes from the Hokkien Chinese word for the sauce, ketchup.
British colonists brought it home, and then in the 19th century, it landed here, where there was an overabundance of tomatoes.
If you had a ton of tomatoes in September or October, you had to do something with them, and one of the things that you could do with them is make ketchup.
From the National Geographic reports, most British recipes called for ingredients like mushrooms, walnuts, oysters, or anchovies in an effort to reproduce the savory taste first encountered in Asia. So you see, ketchup doesn't have to include tomatoes. It can use any number of flavors and ingredients. A husband and wife right here in D.C. took that to heart. They're going old school to put a whole new spin on ketchup. It all started one day in their kitchen when Matt was working on dinner for his wife, Corey. Now, they're building a following in the nation's capital and hope their creation, Chups, will catch on as America rethinks ketchup. Today you're making cranberry ketchup.
Cranberry ketchup. Can you believe it?
Who made it? Who made it up?
We can't claim the original idea, but we took an idea that was popular probably 150 years ago and are kind of bringing it back to the forefront. The idea that ketchup is only made with tomatoes is inherently false. This is 6 pounds. The main ingredients are the cranberries. We do add some other kind of savory elements, onion and garlic and celery here. And then we have our super secret blend of spices. And then we do add a little bit of sugar just to kind of balance the tart cranberries with the spices and the little bit of salt. And then the all-important ingredients are the vinegars that we add. That's what gives it the tartness, the tanginess. And that's really what defines ketchup, is vinegar and spice. It's pretty simple. We're just gonna add these elements, adds a little buffer, because we're not using any oil, so we don't want it to burn on the bottom.
This is not your diner's ketchup.
No, it's not.
Which I appreciate.
We would love it to be.
Well, yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
So now we blend it up. We had the idea in mid-2012.
Okay.
We had a bag of cherries at home in the fridge that were going to go bad, and so we had to figure out how to use them. And we were making burgers one night, and I'd come across a recipe for cherry ketchup and thought that this could be cool, it sounds kind of good. And we made it, and it was great.
I always felt like he should do something with the talent that he had for cooking, and I felt like this was the perfect vehicle. So that was, it just seemed like a natural thing.
I wasn't a huge ketchup fanatic. I didn't have like ketchup like bed sheets or anything.
But that's why we felt like ketchup, it needed this renaissance, because this
Right.
this type of ketchup can be used in ways that you wouldn't use Heinz, and that's one of our big things, is to put it on a pork tenderloin, or serve it with maybe with a steak, so
Yeah.
with a glaze or something.
I think most importantly, we try to highlight the versatility of what we're making. We call it ketchup because it is ketchup, because history shows us that ketchup was really diverse before Heinz came along. It's a process, and we know that changing the entire country's mind about what ketchup is not going to happen overnight. So we're in it for the long haul, and
Yeah, and we've also, through meeting people in the business, and we've heard that there often is a tipping point, and so it's just a matter of hanging in there, and eventually you'll get there. So
Yeah.
we've been doing that.
The good news is that local and kind of nationally, medium-sized and bigger grocery chains are looking for the unique, the local, the different. So we kind of have that as an advantage. I mean, right now when you look on the condiment aisle, I mean, there's a lot of variety, even in mayonnaise and mustard and salsa. Ketchup is just one big red wall. And so adding that diversity to that space in the store is we kind of have that going for us. Looking in from the outside, we're a couple of hipsters making weird ketchup. And yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. But, we have a really clear vision for the future of like what we want to do with it. And whereas your dad's been working for a company for 38 years, we're trying to build that company that we want to be working with, hopefully for 38 years.